welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do another collaboration with a bunch of mommies in the Beauty and Beyond group. We are doing the things I wish I would have known before I had a child or before I had kids. So I had already pre-recorded this, so everything is not going to be how it was said before. I'm kind of on the right now. I'm kind of like right now with how everything happened. I had already pre-recorded all these, and then I have to go through it again and redo it. So let's just go right into this and tell you things that I wish I knew before I had kids. The first thing is they cost more than you think. If you think that you are going to have a child and it's going to be easy and free, you're wrong. Me and my husband, we started dating about August 2nd of 2009, I believe. Yeah, somewhere around there. And then I had my son in August 25th. So we started dating in August, and then I got pregnant on New Year's. Well, I found out on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. So it's kind of like a Christmas present / New Year's gift to my family. So yeah, starting with just that, pregnancy tests, they're not cheap unless you go to the Dollar Tree and you find some there. But who knows if those are accurate or not. But they're not cheap by any means. They cost a lot of money from the day that you find out you're pregnant to for the rest of your life, essentially. With baby clothes, diapers, everything, it all costs. Doctor bills, if you have a child that has special needs that you find out later that has like my son has autism, so we have to have speech therapy, we have to have feeding clinics, we have to have behavioral therapy, all these things that cost money that we have to get for him so that he can go out and live like a normal human being. The next thing that I have is they only start becoming fun and playful when they hit around age 3. My kids were pretty good babies. I wouldn't say there was any issues with them, but as they started getting older, I've noticed that they've had like a temperament, or they don't want to do things like other kids. But that's okay. But it's just different, and they're not really fun anymore. Back in the day, I know my mom would be like, oh, when you were 3 years old, we did this and that and blah, blah, blah. And now it's just like, I don't even want to leave the house because they're a wreck. They're not fun to take out. They aren't really playful. My daughter beats me up most of the time. And not in a playful way. She literally hurts me all the time. But when they hit like around age 3, they do become a little bit more playful and loving, but it's rare. At least in my house, it's very rare. The next thing that I have is you have 10 times the amount of emotions than before. Once you find out you're pregnant, or maybe even before then, you realize that your emotions have heightened and they are completely out of whack, and that does not stop after having a kid, because my emotions still to this day have their ups and downs. There's days where I'm happy, there's days where I'm like sad, there's days when I'm mad, and there's no reason to it. It's just my hormones have been completely out of whack for so long that I don't even know what to blame anymore. But I'm pretty sure it's because I had kids. The next thing I have is nothing will ever go as planned. And that is true. Very, very true. Doctor's appointments, you will never be on time. Any appointment, you'll never be on time. If you make a dinner date or any dates at all, you won't be on time. You're most likely going to be late for everything and nothing will go as planned. That's the other thing that I have, is you will be late for everything, so they both kind of go hand in hand. Nothing will go as planned, so if you say, oh well, let's do this on this date, you most likely won't be doing it. Or you'll be late for that date. The next thing that I have is sleep is a thing of the past. I remember when I was, 18, I would be able to sleep in, go to work, come home and sleep, you know, do the normal things that most 18-year-olds do. But now I can't even do that. I just can't. I have to be up. If my son or daughter is crying in the middle of the night, I have to be up and I have to take care of them. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's just, you never get as much sleep as you wish you would have gotten. And yeah, didn't know you would never get sleep again. The next thing I have is you don't get paid to be a parent. I'm not sure where in any books it says you get to be a parent and get paid or anything like that. I'm not sure if anyone's ever said that, but I feel like I have a few people around, not like around me, but like that are around that think like, oh, I can have a kid and I'll get paid to take care of it, or I'll get paid in some form of way to have a kid, but that's not how it works. And if you do get paid in anything, it's hugs and kisses, if your kid is lovey. Mine are not, other than my son. My son's more lovey than my daughter. But yeah, you don't get paid. If your state does welfare or some form of payment because you can't pay to keep a roof over your head or get diapers or anything like that, then maybe you shouldn't have kids. I just think that if you can't afford a kid, you don't really deserve a kid. And that might sound a little bit harsh, but it's the reality. If you can't afford to keep yourself alive and living and dealing with life, I don't think you should bring a child into the world. The next thing that I have is not everyone will agree with your parenting techniques. This was a huge thing for me. With my son, I co-slept with my son. As a new mom, I didn't know anything different. So yeah, there's a lot of ums in this. I'm sorry. I don't remember what I said in my last video, so it's kind of aggravating, but yeah, I co-slept with my son, and a lot of my family members seem to have thought that that was an issue, that I would suffocate my child, or I would, you know, I don't know, roll over on him. But I'm a light sleeper. Like, there's only a few times where I actually get into a deep sleep, and that's usually in my own bed with nobody else there. That's the only time I ever get an actual deep sleep. But with my son, I co-slept with him, and a lot of family thought that it was wrong, which I don't know why. And then there are other things such as spanking. A lot of parents don't believe in spanking your child. I do. My kids tend to listen when I spank them or when I threaten. I'm more bark than I am bite. It's more of a, if you don't do this, I'm gonna spank your butt, or something like that. But most of the time that gets through with them. And we don't really do much spanking around here. It's only when things go really wrong, like the other day my daughter dumped sugar on the floor. It's like, no, we're gonna smack your hand because you don't touch stuff that doesn't belong to you. She touches the refrigerator now and dispenses water all over the floor. It's just a mess. But yeah, that's the only time that we really do spanking, and it's mostly on the hands. We don't really go all out and beat our child. I don't think I don't think anybody should actually be beating their child. There's a fine line between the two. But a lot of people don't believe in that. And a lot of people are scared of their own children, which is pretty sad. I don't think you should be scared of your child or to spank them or to discipline them. And the next thing is that I wish I would have known is that being a parent is an amazing gift. And it takes a lot of hard work and trials and errors. But in the end, it is worth the amount of love that you have and give. That's what it says. But in the end, it's worth the amount of love you have and give. A lot of people don't know the true feeling of what love is, and sometimes a child can actually show you what love is. As cheesy as that sounds, it's true. And I wish I would have known that, because I love my kids to death. As much as they aggravate me and torture me, I love them to death, and I wouldn't change them for the world. And the last thing that I have is that it takes a village to literally takes a village to raise your child. A lot of people think like, oh, I can do this on my own and I'm independent and blah 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 blah. Well, if you're so independent, who's watching your kid while you're working? I don't think anybody is really that independent to where they can take their kid to work with them and work and provide for their kid. So you're not really that independent because you rely on somebody else to take care of your kid or some form of way. Independence is nice. I'd like to think that I'm very independent, but I'm not. I rely a lot on my mom, my grandma, and my mother-in-law, because without them, I probably would be not here. To say the least. They have done a lot for me in my life, and I love them to death, but it really does take a village to raise a child. So if you think you can do it on your own, you're wrong. I can tell you that now. And that's about all that I have. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I will list all of the other ladies, mommies that are doing this collaboration down below. And what else is there? If there are any other things that you wish you would have known before you had a child, please list those in the comment section. I would love to know what you guys wish you would have known before you had a kid. Or children, more than one. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I know I already said that. But I've noticed on my analytics that a lot of my viewers are not subscribers. And I would love to have you guys here on my channel watching me make a fool of myself and mess of myself every other day or something. I plan on revamping my channel and doing something a little different. Maybe changing the dates on which I upload or something. I'm not sure yet. But if there are any comments that you guys have, please leave them down below, questions, concerns, and go check out everybody else and subscribe to them and let them know that I sent you. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.